ago, I went to Ireland. It was my second trip to Ireland. First, I went to Dublin in December, and then I went to the Wild Atlantic Way for my second trip. And you guys, Ireland is pretty amazing. I'm pretty obsessed, and I would go again tomorrow if I could. I decided I wanted to do that portion of the country because it is pretty much the most renowned portion that people go to. It's where the Cliffs of Moher are. I stayed in a little village called Doolin, and though it is pretty much just a hub for tourists, it was amazing. I drove, which was an adventure, to say the least. I wanted to drive because, well, I've never driven on the left-hand side of the road or on the right side of the car, and I wanted a challenge. And I figured, you know what? I get to the car, first, can't figure out how to turn it on. It's like I've never driven a car before. Then, once the car was on, I, couldn't get the emergency brake up. The emergency brake would, not release. So I sat there trying to figure that out. And then halfway to my Airbnb, my GPS stopped working. And so then I was like, oh great, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. The next day I drove pretty much to Galway, a little south of Galway, to visit a castle. After I went to the little castle, I had lunch at a farmer's market, and then I went to the Burn. The Burn is the smallest national park in Ireland, and it is pretty exemplary. It's a mixture of limestone rock formations and what you would kind of think of when you think of Ireland, which is just green hills and wildflowers. I went on a little flora and fauna tour, and it was really nice because it was just a group of people who just wanted to have a relaxing nature walk but still learn a lot. And my guide was really good. He knew exactly what he was talking about. He would stop us every few feet and be like, and this is blah blah blah. There was a moment during this that I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be a travel vlogger right now, and I'm going to set down this camera and act like I'm walking around and doing things. Why, Mary? Why? The next day was the day I decided to go to the Cliffs of Moher, and y'all, I think I had a spiritual experience while there. I decided that I wanted to, instead of going to the visitor center, I wanted to actually hike the extent from Doolin to the cliffs, or the Cliffs Visitor Center. And so that's what I did. I woke up at 8 a.m. and I started walking. It's around 6 kilometers, which isn't too far, but it was quite the hike. Lots of upward battles, should I say, but the views were breathtaking. At one point, I think it's called Patrick's View, along the walk, I just sat and had my legs over the edge and just stared out and was truly just amazed at everything. And it was a pretty good day. It was really windy and cloudy, but it wasn't raining, which was really nice. And when I got to the visitor center, I just had this sense of accomplishment. I looked around at all these people who had just driven up in cars, and I was like, you guys are missing literally everything. All the best parts of this entire experience. I was alone for pretty much the entire time. There was only a couple times that there was a couple walking ahead of me or a couple behind me or something like that. But for the most part, I was alone, and that's what I really enjoyed because I just got to experience nature.
There's not a soul around me right now, but this is really cool. I kind of don't want anyone to be around, so it's kind of nice. But so within a minute of the walk, I stepped in a huge ass puddle, so one of my shoes is just soaking wet. That's fine. I only have 2 more hours to go. No big deal.
Then I took a paddy wagon back to Doolin, and I took a 4-hour nap. And after my nap was done, I went to the Doolin Cave, which has the biggest, I can never say it, stalite, crystal thing that hangs from the water dripping, and it calcifies, and On the final day, I went to one of the Aran Islands and rode my bike around, visited all the major spots. I went to the smallest of the islands so that I could really do the most of it. It was just a good time, and I would recommend it to anyone who's thinking about going to Ireland, what they should do. I would definitely go to that portion of the country. Stay in Doolin. Everyone in Doolin was so nice. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog about Ireland. Like it if you like it, subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. When I go on my Euro trip, it'll be a lot of sort of like this, but maybe shorter. Or better thought out. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.